Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my MIRENA IUD experience. I've had it for roughly 2 months and it's been a roller coaster ride. Let's start off with just talking about my initial doctor appointment, the insertion, and then I'll just go on from there. So I got it last month on the 8th. May the 8th, and it was my I forgot what it's called, post-pregnancy appointment, like the appointment that you have 4 to 6 weeks after giving birth. That's the appointment that I got the MIRENA inserted. So I went in, she asked me just general questions about my afterbirth and my bleeding and how I'm feeling emotionally, all that good stuff. So after we got over that, she said, okay, we're gonna do the insertion now. So she laid me back and she said, take a deep breath, and she inserted the MIRENA into my uterus. Lay down, baby. She inserted the MIRENA into my uterus, and to me, the best way to describe the feeling was like a pinching sensation, a long pinching sensation. It wasn't too strong of a pain to where I couldn't handle it, but I did have to hold my breath. It definitely did feel like somebody stuck something inside of me, and whatever they stuck inside of me was pinching my insides. That's exactly how it felt to me. It was very quick though. I want to say no more than a minute was she in there. As soon as she removed the tool that placed it inside of me, she said, now you are bleeding, and she gave me some pads, but I already came equipped with that, so I didn't need hers. I hate those hospital pads anyways. I think they suck. I think they suck, so I brought my own. So I felt the bleeding. It was heavy enough that I needed to put on a pad as soon as I left. So she said, you're going to be experiencing some cramping, and pretty much just set me on my way. Oh, I forgot. She did do an ultrasound afterwards, which is why I selected her as a doctor, because I wanted to know that it was in place correctly. A lot of the other doctors that practice at that hospital didn't do an ultrasound, and I just thought that it made a lot of sense that you would want to make sure that it was in the right spot, you know what I mean, in the right position. So she did do an vaginal ultrasound, and she showed it to me in my uterus, so I felt a lot more comfortable with the situation at that point because I knew it was in there. I knew it was in the right spot. So she sent me on my way. I didn't experience any initial cramping. My cramping really didn't start until about 2 weeks after I got it. So the bleeding started maybe 3 to 4 days afterwards for me. I did bleed initially when it was inserted, but it stopped, and then it picked up again a couple days later, and it has been going ever since, right? So this is like a month of me having it, and I'm still bleeding. So I will say this. The bleeding was a lot heavier within the first couple weeks. I mean, it was just like pretty much a heavy period. So I feel like I've been bleeding ever since I had the baby, pretty much, because I only had like a couple days off of bleeding, maybe like a week. Okay, so I got it 4 days after having my baby, 4 weeks after having my baby, and I stopped bleeding after 3 weeks of having the baby. So I had like a week off of bleeding from after birth, and then I got the MIRENA, and then I bled from the insertion, and then it stopped, and then I bled a couple days after that, and it was a heavy menstrual cycle. So I really haven't had too much of a break since having my baby as far as bleeding. I had a little break. So the bleeding has been pretty constant with maybe a day or two break. It has gotten a lot lighter. I mean, I can pretty much wear a super ultralight. No, baby, don't mess with the tripod. A super light panty liner, and that will pretty much be sufficient enough. At nighttime, I do wear a extra long TMI, but I do wear like an extra long pad, like an overnight type deal, just to be safe, because you know, when you sleep, TMI, but when you sleep, the blood runs to different places because you're laying down. So I do like just that extra layer of protection. So I wear an overnight one. But it's been about 4 weeks, and I want to say I experienced really heavy bleeding for like 2 weeks, and then it's kind of just trickled down to the point to where I am just wearing a panty liner during the day now. And I do go like maybe 12 hours without bleeding, and then randomly I'll bleed again. So it's kind of like weird. They did say to give your body a full month to adjust to having something inside of you, you know, a foreign object in your uterus. So I'm kind of just like at the point to where I'm trying to see if I can handle it, because if you look online and you read from the actual MIRENA website, they do say to give your body 1 to 3 months. Now, I don't know if I can go 3 months with this, you know, but I'm shy maybe a couple days of 4 weeks, so I'm at the point to where I'm trying to make a decision if I want to keep it. But it has gotten a lot lighter. Like I said, I'm not bleeding heavy like I was in the first couple weeks. So maybe I'm at the point to where I'm going to stop bleeding. I'm not sure. I'm just taking it day by day. Now, the cramping is like, as soon as I feel that I'm about to start bleeding, ladies, you know when you're about to start bleeding, we get the feeling, I don't know how to explain it, but you just get the feeling that you're about to start bleeding, right? Mommy, you have to be careful right here. So when I get that feeling, I automatically start cramping. So I know when I'm cramping that there's about to be some blood flow. So I feel like, I don't know how that works hand in hand, but it's, once you feel like you're going to start bleeding, you start cramping, you know, okay, I'm about to start bleeding. So I don't know if that has something to do with how the MIRENA works, but that's how it's affecting my body. Like, I know when I'm going to start bleeding. So, I mean, other than being out of commission a lot sexually, you know, my husband is kind of like, what the hell, this thing freaking sucks. It has been kind of like a super weird experience, but I just wanted to give you guys like my 1 month update. I don't even know at the beginning if I said 2 months or 1 month, but it's been 2 months since I had my daughter, 1 month with the MIRENA, and yeah, still bleeding a little bit, still cramping pretty much every day. What else can I say? I haven't had any like mood swings that I can relate to the MIRENA. I feel like my mood swings are just from me being Puerto Rican. I haven't had any discharge of weird. Oh, I can say this. So now that the bleeding has started to lessen, the blood is getting a lot darker. It's not as much of a bright red pinkish tone that it was first off. It's more of like a dark red brown color. So I don't know if that's also another sign of the bleeding coming to an end, but that has changed. And I have called into the doctor's office maybe like 2 weeks into it because I was bleeding so much and I just wanted to know if this was normal. And they did tell me that it is completely normal. They did tell me to give my body up to a month, sometimes 3, sometimes 6, I think she even told me, just depending on like who you are individually. But there's no way that I can do this for 6 months. There's no way. So like I said, I'm still in like limbo with it. I'm just trying to see how the second month is with it. And yeah, I'm just gonna play it by ear and just see how it goes. So that's my 1 month MIRENA IUD update for y'all. That's pretty much it. I'll see y'all in the next one.